Okay.
Okay, so here's the thing about the dynamic betting. So you can see I've got some sort of strategy roll in here,
Right. Right.
and it's maybe somewhere around with some of yours, like 4 grand or whatever. I mean, that's not a huge amount of money, right?
Right.
And the whole thing defaults to $2,000. Sorry, to $10,000 as a starting point, but
Right. Right.
you can always change that if you want to go with what you really have or whatever.
Right.
Um, But the thing is, if it is a strategy that looks profitable, and this looks really profitable, I mean, look at that.
Mm.
45% win rate with a 6.5 to 1 risk
Wow.
reward. I mean, that's huge. I mean, that means you could probably, actually, I don't have to say probably, I can tell you. Um, yeah, you could win 13% of the time and break even. That's
Oh
how,
my God. That's
right?
that's I'd like that.
Yeah, in case you don't know, that's what these you can see this. I am sharing, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. I see it.
Yeah, so these two here, BE stands for break even. So that's your break even win rate, and that's your break even risk to reward. Um, so let's go. So this is definitely a profitable system. So I scroll down to, so let's turn on the dynamic betting and see what happens. So if we go down to, or up to, okay, it should be pretty close. Here we go. So it's under trade risk. And here
Okay.
you've got 3 types of betting, and we're just going to click on dynamic. And we'll let it do its thing. Here you can see the curve, the equity curve. It's pretty nice.
Nice.
Here you can see the profit, 4,700, which is about to change.
Mm.
That's not bad for 1.8 months. That's like 50% of your money in 2 months on top of your.
Right. Right.
Now have a look.
Holy cow. What does that say? That says,
$675,000.
oh my gosh.
That's what that
Wow. What does that do? Like, what
what
makes
it
it do?
does what it does is it takes I can't tell you exactly what happens internally. For one
Mm.
thing, it's got a lot of ifs and buts and conditions in it.
Right.
And partly it's a little bit proprietary, I not
I
it's
got you.
a little bit of my
Sure.
secret sauce, but
Oh, sure.
it does things like look at your what's the most you could bet without getting a margin call. It does that type of thing, right? And it looks at
Uh-huh.
all these different factors and it says what is the most optimal way to do this? And as you can see here, this is like setting up a ramp up curve, and there's some other things. I've changed the wording of this and got rid of some of this. It's not applicable anymore. Um, on the latest one, I got one more version from the one you're seeing, 15.
Mm.
16 has kind of got the everything cleaned up now that I got it working the way I want it.
So,
And so what it does, and actually this usually starts with one, which is going to drop the profit down a bit, but I'll show you how this works. This is what
okay.
you normally, these are the defaults now, right?
Hmm.
And this one here where it says default bet percentage is the only thing you'd probably ever change.
Mm.
Um, because this other stuff's pretty complicated. It creates an
Mm.
S curve of ramping up on betting and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Mm.
Um, so you can see now it's considerably less than it was before, but still, I mean, if you started with 10 grand, I'd not be unhappy with 4 times my money in 2 months.
That's
Um,
crazy.
but what it's doing is it's saying, look, I'm going to start trying to figure out the best amount to bet, right? So it's
Right.
trying stuff. And it's slowly ramping up and getting more and more bold in what it's saying you could bet. And here you can see it says the last dynamic bet was 25%.
25. Wow.
But you see the trades here, there's only 32 trades, and I've got this ramp up that takes quite a while. So it's not even gotten to its full potential yet. So
Wow.
what we can do is we can go down here and say, well, let's start it at 25 since we know it thinks that's where it's meant to be, and then see what this is. Now, if you had like 100 or 200 trades, you wouldn't need to do this. You could just feed in the number there and it'd be probably spot on. But with such few trades, this particular strategy is kind of a low trading volume strategy. It's like once
Mm.
every, well, it tells you here, see, look, once every 1.7 days.
Yeah.
So it's not a high volume transaction thing. So, okay, so now we got 450,000. And it's saying now it's saying I think the optimum betting is about 34%.
Mm,
So we can go down in here and say, well, let's start at 34 and then see where it ends up if we allow it to, keep adjusting itself.
right. So
And
you're
now
change that 34 because it's saying that's the optimal betting amount.
well, it's saying that's what it thinks it is so far. Now you see it's
Right.
still on 34 and we start on 34. So this is probably the optimal amount, right?
Right. Right.
And now it's saying that's how much you can make if you bet the optimal amount. Now, the scary part about this optimal betting is that if you watch these, you see wild losses, right?
Mm.
You're up, 100,000, and then you're just down to 30,000. You think, oh, I lost all my money. And then you're up to 180,000. And it just,
Holy cow.
because you think about it, you're betting 30, almost 35% of your money every single time. So your
Wow.
losses are that big when you lose, right?
Right.
But this is optimal, or that's what my system believes is optimal. Maybe it's
Right.
not. Maybe there's, some other factors involved, but this is the best I've been able to come up with. Like I said, having all these checks and balances and things, right? Now, what I do is this strategy's actually been running for a while. So let's see if it's still true when I do the forward testing. I don't think when we talked, I showed you the forward testing bit. I
No, you
can't.
didn't.
Okay, so that's what this test window is all about. Once you create a strategy, the way you ultimately make sure that you haven't curve fitted something that's only good on back data
Mm.
is to wipe out all your past trades and only look at future trades, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's normal. That's always your next step after back testing is forward testing, right? So the way you do this is you put the date in here of where all your back data ends. So whatever day you want to start forward testing, you just put your date and time in here. And then you just say, I want to use my window. And you can see the end date is like 5 years out, so you're never going to have to worry about the end date unless you deliberately are just trying to make some window of some sort.
Oh.
So now you can see what it thinks we would have made if we started when I only have forward testing data. And it's still profitable, right?
Yes, sure is.
So it's saying that in the space of the last 15 days, I would have made $4,000 if I was trading
Mm.
this strategy using this betting amount. And this is forward data, not backwards data.
Wow.
So that's really, really nice.
That's
So this is a strategy I'll probably, once I get the automation in place, which is what I'm working on now, I'll probably, actually trade. If it
wow.
still looks this good once I get the automation in place, I'm definitely going to trade this. I mean, that's a beautiful system.
So you're working towards this being automated trading.
Oh yeah, this is actually, you see how it's got an A there?
Uh-huh.
This is the one that actually is set up to do automated trading. The one you've got has got an M, that's manual trading. And I
Mm-hmm.
probably will charge money for the automated trading one.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? But the difference is if you go to the bottom, see these you can actually click on these and put stuff in here. You can't do that on the manual one.
Mm.
And what that does is because those fields allow it's a template system, which means no matter what you connect to, you'll be able to use the templates to connect to it. So I don't have to write any code. And I can always help you with that or whatever you
Mm.
may decide to connect to. And just to show you what I'm looking at, because I went and did a deep dive using AI to try and figure out what maybe would be the best platform to go for.
Mm-hmm.
And the one I came up with, and I'm just trying to find it, blog, is these guys. I'm going to try and go through Algo Way, which seems to connect. They're even able to handle high frequency trading for what I've been able to see, or at least that's their claim.
Wow.
They're running in the cloud, so unlike something like Pine Connector, which I don't think, or maybe they're running in the cloud now, but they didn't for a long time. But they lost their reputation for a while, and now they're trying to claw it back a bit. But Algoway's a new kid on the block, but not so new that they haven't got a lot of people talking about them and saying how good they are.
Wow.
And they're cheap. They're like $9 a month, and I thought, damn, I can do that.
So are they primarily a Forex trainer?
No, that's
Forex
the
or
thing. That's the thing that well, you can look for yourself. I mean, there
yeah.
you go. Algoway.trade, right? And then just
Right.
slash blog. In fact, I'll just send that over to you now since we're
Okay.
talking. Other people wonder what the hell is this on Discord? That's their problem, right?
That's right. They should be here. They're not.
Exactly. So let me just throw that in. See, where should I put that? Announcements. Put it under. I got a thing here called external resources. I'll put it
Yeah,
under.
I was looking at that yesterday actually about the stockbrokers, about the brokers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is maybe this is actually the one I chose from that. Maybe this is a
Uh-huh.
follow. But yeah, this is the one I chose to use. So I'm going to be trying to set that up tonight. We'll see if I get it set up or if I've got to learn a few more things.
Mm.
But that's basically all I wanted to show you was that how to set up the dynamic betting so that once you have something profitable, you can really, maximize
Yeah, I'm gonna go use that right now actually.
it.
Uh
And the other thing you want to do is here's what I do, and you don't have to do it like this.
hmm
See, what I do is when I create a version for forward testing, I go in here and I go make copy. And then I put FT colon space on the front of the name, and then I just don't touch it. Anything I see with FT colon space at the front, I do not touch it so that I don't
Mm.
mess, right? And that way, if I feel like, oh, well, what if I did that? What if I did the other thing? I want to try and add this to it, right? If I want to
Right.
start experimenting, I know it's not going to be with this one. It'll be with the one this one came from. And that way, your forward testing never gets messed up.
Mm. That's
And then the other,
nice.
and then the other thing I did, I think I showed you this. I showed you this, right?
Uh
No, yes.
no, I've not. I don't think I've seen this, but
Maybe this is from my meeting yesterday I had with
mm,
Rex. I know I showed him, and maybe that's what I'm thinking of. This is where we actually put the strategies that we're testing, forward testing. So you see up here, it says forward testing.
right.
And here is all the fields that you can fill in. So just to show you where this is coming from, I'm going to just kind of do a side by side thing here. Let's see about there. And then, oh, actually, I don't have to, I can just do it like this. Okay, so if you have a look here, these three, or these actually four or five here, I put this across. These here all correspond to this stuff down here. It's literally in order, right? Win rate,
Right,
average
right.
risk reward ratio, win rate margin, and trade profit and loss. Oh, that's sorry, not trade profit. And then these two over here, actually, it's using the P&L total and then the P&L per week. And the idea is by writing it in here is that once you do start the forward testing, these numbers are all just going to show what they are for zero trades or one trade or two trades, not all that back testing.
Mm-hmm.
So I fill this in before I start the forward testing, and then I can look at these numbers here and see if they've changed much from the back testing data, right? I can just
Wow.
compare them across. And you see here, it automatically tells me, if you look up here, you see that's a formula.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just automatically telling me from whatever I put in the start date. So here's my start date. It's telling me
Right.
how long that's been forward testing from the start date in weeks.
Mm.
And it just updates automatically because it's a formula in a spreadsheet. And this is one other thing that we fill in from over here. This is something I always like to see, and that is the trading frequency. So you see up here it's saying 1.7 days.
Right, yeah.
And this is actually this one here. You see, it's pretty much on track. Look at that, 1.8 days on the back
Yeah.
testing. Very close, right? So saying 44% win rate. Well, this is saying 37, but it's only got 9 trades, so it's still honing in on the right number.
Mm.
4.68 was the end risk reward ratio. Well, here it's saying it's 6.4, so that's pretty nice. That's because we've
Mm-hmm.
had a couple of wins lately, so it's gone up a bit.
Mm.
Um, want to get this is actually slightly lower than 50-50 win rate, so it will go down over time. Um, but yeah, now this win rate margin, I've never actually explained what that is. So I'll tell you what it does here. What it's doing is it's looking at the averages of all your trade, and it's giving you a number you can compare against any other strategy you look at how it's a measurement of the quality of your trades on average,
Wow.
right? So you can take any other system that you're trading and look at that number, and you can already see if the quality of the trades are better or worse, right?
Mm.
And if it's up around 20% or something like that, that's probably good enough to have a profitable strategy, right?
Wow.
Anything beyond that is just gravy, right? On top of your
Mm.
your your meal. So that's from my experience anyway, but it's a
Oh.
measurement. And there you can see even see the formula if you want to dig into the math, right? I'm not making
Hmm.
a secret or anything. Um, and by the way, I don't know if you know that, but if you hover over these things that might not be so obvious, well, it doesn't do it for everything. Like everybody knows what a win is, right?
Right, right.
But not everybody's going to know what BERRR is. So, I'll show people what it means. And so
Hmm.
anything that's not
That's
obvious,
neat.
yeah, anything that's not obvious, just hover over it and it'll tell you.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, so this win rate margin is really, really important because over time, as you build strategies, you'll start to get a sense. You'll be able to just look at that and go, yeah, I'm going to keep trying to make this better, or nah, this is wasting my time. I'll try something different.
Right,
It
right,
really is a great indicator. What it won't do, and it's not made to do it, there's another thing that does that, is it won't tell you how profitable your system will be because the one thing it does not take into account is how often you're trading,
right, right.
right? And the only thing that gives you that number is your ultimate P&L, right? But
Right,
that's not its job. Its job is not to say how profitable it will be because taking into account the number of trades. That's what your P&L does. It just says on an individual trade basis, how good is each trade is? What's the quality of my trades on average?
right,
Which,
right.
to me, that's like one of the best measurements you can have. And I don't know anyone else who does it, by the way.
Mm.
Um, but to me, that's because I came up with that myself. It took me a long time to get.
Oh,
I kept wanting that and kept trying to find it and kept throwing things out there and finally found one that made sense. Um, so that's a very nice little number.
that
And
is.
anything you want to know about your trading, this table, by the way, has been refined over years. And this is probably the most pertinent information you could ever ask for on a trade, just so you know.
Wow.
Um, so, kind of learn to read this. I mean, think about it. This, if you're manually trading, this will tell you how often you need to be awake, right?
Right, right,
This gives you
right,
an idea of how long the trade's going to last. That's, I can hang around for a couple of hours. I'm not too unhappy about that, right?
right, right. Yeah,
Kind
definitely.
of everything about that would affect you trading is in here. So keep that in mind and get used to reading that because it'll really make you really hone your ability to refine your strategies. And what I'm going to do with this is just something that me and a couple of friends are dealing with. I will put a link down in the external resources and within an hour of us getting off this call.
Mm.
And I'll make a copy of just the layout of this. And so you can make a copy for yourself, or maybe a bunch of people might want to get together and make a copy and they all share. Like this is like
Right.
three or four friends of mine. Well, you're actually on there. The one we did
Well,
together is
look at
on
that. Yeah.
there. Right? So do you did Ryan give you that? Did he give you a sheet to that? He should have.
No, not that I know of.
Yeah, because we built that together. You should have a copy of that.
Oh,
So
wow.
I will send you a link to these two,
Okay.
right? And then you can do you know how have you ever had anyone share a sheet with you before?
Oh, for
Okay, so
and
what?
like what format is it?
Oh no, it's exactly this. So what happens is you go up here,
Mm.
you click share link, right?
Right.
And then you just copy the link and send it to somebody. And then when you go to use it, you won't be able to change it, but you'll see right up here in the corner, it'll say make copy or something with the word copy in it. You
Okay.
click on that and you make your own copy of that. And then once you have your own copy, you can do whatever you want with it.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so this
that's
is
neat.
something TradingView makes available. So I will share the two that are specifically for you. I don't know if this one's for you or not, but I will share the ones that are specifically for you and make sure you have a copy of them because they're yours. You did that with us, right? And then if you don't have a copy of the indicator that Ryan made, reach out to him because it's his indicator. If it's
Okay.
not, maybe because we just did this as a part of you know, a call.
Training.
Yeah,
Yeah.
training. He might not have thought to make it available. I don't know. So if you
Oh,
can't get hold of it, if it's not working for you, just contact and say, "Hey, look, Reg shared this with me. Can you make this indicator available for me?" And he'll definitely do that.
good deal.
I can't do it because it's not mine. He did
Right.
it.
Man, this is so amazing. Seriously, I wish I knew more about it to be helpful to you, but
Well,
sharing it is amazing.
oh no, no, you will be though. You're going to come up with ideas. You have
Yeah.
something that the rest of us don't have, which is absolutely amazing.
Oh,
You have most of a day.
Yeah, I do. I have
Do you
all
know,
day.
do you know
Uh,
how valuable that is? See these
I
two
know.
here? These are because Kiva had all day before she started her job, right?
Wow.
She managed to put those together in within a month, and she had no trading experience whatsoever. So you're ahead of her.
Mm,
See, she had to learn the platform and trading.
and how to
You only have to
trade.
learn the
Yeah.
platform, and you already got a
Right.
leg up on it, right?
You know, I am working on something I was going to talk to you all about, especially if you're leading to automated trading. You heard? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard of the orb.
No, but before you go any further, let me
Yeah,
just take this off recording. I think we've
yeah,
done enough
yeah,
about the thing, and then we'll have those as private conversations or whatever.
yeah.
As soon as I can get to it. Oh, there it is. I hate the way this thing hides its bar. It drives me crazy.